Hey guys, this is Jensen, and in today's story time, I'm going to be talking about the time that I got my car stolen from me by meth heads. So this story takes place in December of 2020, so around 6 months ago. And before we get this video started, I just wanted to say that I'm planning on uploading consistently from now on, and I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded in like 3 months, but yeah, we're just going to get this story started. So this story starts off as um, I'm planning to pick up my friend who's actually 22, and it's someone that I had met a few weeks ago, and I just became friends with. So he's a lot older than me. He's like, he's like 5 years older than me, but I was friends with him. He was like a criminal, but also a rapper. Well, not really a criminal, but he did have a record. So yeah, I became friends with this guy, and he was cool. I don't really know. He never really did anything to me. So yeah, I thought he was cool, but I picked him up, and I saw that he was with a friend, and he asked if his friend could ride with me too. So me being dumb, I said, yeah, sure, to someone who I didn't even know, and to someone who was like 23 or 22, so a lot older than me. So that was the first mistake. So we drove around a little bit, and they told me to pick up their other friend who lived like nearby, and I didn't want to at first because I already picked up someone I didn't know, and I didn't want to like pick someone else up too. So I just said, no, I'm good, I don't want to. But they kind of were just like, oh, come on, please, like, she's not gonna do anything. So I just said okay. And the meth guy, I'm gonna call him the meth guy. So there's Big Sheepy and the meth guy. His name's what is his Kai. So Kai is on the phone with this girl, and we end up picking her up. So we pick her up from this like sketchy ass area, and at first we're stopped at an abandoned gas station, but then she tells us to pick her up at her house. So we go to this kind of ghetto area, and we pick her up. And at this time, it's getting pretty dark, so 6 o'clock at night. And yeah, so this ugly fat girl, which I think I'm gonna call her that. So this ugly fat girl gets in, and we pick her up. Big Sheepy, the rapper guy, had been driving, and we end up switching seats. So I end up driving from there on. So once we pick her up, I start driving, and I started driving around for like 10 minutes in a random area. It's in, I don't know if you guys know this area, but it's Santa Ana, so it's kind of like a ghetto city in Orange County. But we're driving around, and we all agree to go to this mall nearby. But once we got there, it ended up being closed, so we just chilled in the parking structure for like 5 minutes. One of them, actually, Big Sheepy pulls out a meth pipe, and I had no idea he did meth. Like, I didn't know he did like hard drugs. All I knew he did was like weed and he smoked cigarettes, but I didn't know he actually did meth. But I was kind of getting nervous, but I'm like, whatever, it's just meth. Like, it's not like that means that he's a criminal 100%. So they pass around the meth pipe to all three of them, the fat girl and Kai and Big Sheepy. So they pass around the meth pipe, and after sitting in this empty parking structure for like 10 minutes, they tell me to drop them off somewhere nearby. So we drive like 5 minutes away, and we go to this other like abandoned parking lot sort of, and it's like an underground parking structure, but we're just at the ground level. So I park, and I made a dumb mistake. I left the car keys in the cup holder. I got out of the car, and I let them out of the car. So I turn off the car, and about a second after I walked outside, the fat ass girl shows me the keys in her hand, and I'm just freaking out at this point. I'm like, is this for real? And whenever stuff like this happens to me, I always have this like second that I think, okay, maybe this is just a prank or something. So I'm just thinking that. And this girl throws the meth guy, the meth dealer, the car keys. He starts to drive off. He gets in the meth guy gets in the front seat. He starts driving. She gets in the back seat, and my rapper friend Big Sheepy jumps out as they're driving off. So this is when they stole the car from me, and I left my phone in this like the side of the seat too, so I didn't have any way to call anyone, and I was pretty much just stranded in the middle of the night. Well, like at 7 p.m., but I was stranded in a place I had no idea where it was, and it was close to a Jack in the Box, I think. So me and Big Sheepy walk to Jack in the Box and to go call the police. Then he dips, and I call. No, it was actually Del Taco. Now that I'm reading this, but yeah. So there was also a Jack in the Box in the area, but that was closed. So I ended up going to the Del Taco, and I just used the person's phone that works there, and I called the police, and I wait outside, and about 10 minutes later, fucking 10 police cars show up. They all park in this parking lot. It's full of police cars. And they just start to ask me questions. They tell me to get in their car, and I'm not being arrested or anything, but they just ask me a bunch of questions. And terrible part is that the police didn't even look for the people who drove off. The people that all have criminal records and a meth dealer who just stole my car. So instead, all the police cars just sit in this parking lot, even though the car had been like 10 to 15 minutes away at that point. So they could have easily found them. They were in the same city at this point. Like, I don't know what the police were thinking, but the police were not nice to me. They told my mom that I was on Oxy or something, even though I wasn't even high. So I don't know what the police were saying, but yeah. So Big Sheepy, the rapper guy who I don't think stole the car, gave me the full name of the person who drove off. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I find my iPhone alert went off on my phone, so I had to pause the video. But anyways, back to the story. So, after the police cars showed up, they didn't do anything, as I said before, and Big Sheepy gave the full name of the guy, which I think his name is Kylo. So, Kylo, if you're watching this, you stole my car, and I don't really care if they see this because they're not going to do anything to me. I mean, they got off the hook. They didn't get arrested for Grand Theft Auto. So that's pretty much it. But I wanted to go over like updates of when the police found the car. So pretty much like a week later, the police found the car and the wheel caps or whatever were taken off. I don't know car parts, but a bunch of car parts were taken off of this car. It was just left there with a backpack as evidence. And when we saw the backpack actually had a bunch of shit in there. There was knives. They found the car and we actually got $5,000 for it, which was probably more than the car was worth. The car was like pretty beat up and old. I would say it was worth about like $3,000. I don't know, but it wasn't worth that much. So we ended up getting what it was worth. That's pretty much it for this story time. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. And yeah, by the way, these people never got in trouble again. Meth dealer and the other girl was also on meth that stole the car. So the guy and the girl that stole the car were for sure criminals, and they did other crimes too, but the biggest crime that I know of is Grand Theft Auto, which they probably did worse. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this story time. Thanks for watching, and peace.